made it. And I know everyone's pumped up, man. So, I mean, you're only 15 minutes late, so that's cool. I think we all had
15
a good
minutes
time
late.
without you anyway. I was just going to continue on my merry way.
Well,
Who's
guys,
pumped up?
I do want to explain myself. I was up till 5:30 in the morning last night. We did have a little unplanned emergency trip to the hospital, to the emergency room last night. Everything's okay. It was kind of a precautionary test. You check things out.
Oh,
But I made the mistake of laying down on the couch after dinner, and I was out like a light. And I look at my phone. I like, with one eye to see what time it is. It's 8:12. I'm like, oops.
goodness
So I'm
gracious.
messaging Brian right away. I'm like, dude, I'm on my way. And so thanks for carrying it
Hey,
for the past 15 minutes.
you know what,
And
man? It's I
we're gonna double down and give everybody the best info about merch and entrepreneurship online as we can.
Well, it must just be your good looks because we have so many people on this webinar. We had almost right on the dot 2,000 people registered for this webinar, and that's on one email and two posts socially. So I think it's either your charming personality or the fact that people are just fucking pumped up for merch.
Well, it really is, and I've been around a lot of opportunities, a lot of them surrounding Amazon uh, merch, in my opinion, and maybe I'll change it later in the future if something else comes around. But merch is the biggest, easiest, simplest, most leverageable platform that I've ever seen. Like it's, I mean, I'm an FBA guy, right? But FBA takes money, right? You have to buy inventory. You have to actually send that inventory to Amazon. You have to actually like get in the game. Merch takes $0, absolutely $0, and there are people making three, four, 5 digits in royalties, some every week,
Oh yeah,
with Amazon doing all the work, the printing, the shipping, the customer service, fulfillment, the listing, the market. Like they're doing all that work.
I know,
All you
man.
have to do is make stuff that people want,
Well, I've
right? And
heard it,
drive some traffic.
Chris. I've heard it, and you've heard it, and I think some other people have heard it. But when I posted this, what did I post it twice? I think we did get some. What do I want to say? Dissidents, right? Or let's just call it what it is: haters, right? People saying,
I've seen it all. It's so baffling.
people saying, "Oh, no way, $50,000 a month, is not possible in merch," and this, that, and the next. I took before you came on, I took a small poll here with all of our attendees. We've got people doing 10 to 15,000 just on this webinar, and I know you can dispel the haters. Why don't you tell us about some of the? You don't have to name names, but tell us about some of the success stories you've heard on merch so far.
Well, I mean, it's just kind of, I mean, not just, it's a lot like FBA, right? Where depending on what people want to do, they can get as big as or small or stay as small as they want. There are people who just want to make an extra $1,000 using FBA so that they have their vacation fund or retire early or just know that if they needed to, they could like turn it up and make some extra money. They just want that, safety net. And then there's people who are just going all out and trying to make as much money as possible and building one, two, 10, $20 million businesses with FBA. And
Sure.
it's the same with merch. There
Hmm.
are people who are just ecstatic when they sell 3 shirts in a week. Like they're over the moon. They're like, "This is incredible. This is the best thing I've ever seen. Oh my goodness, thanks, Chris Green. I'm like, gonna name my kids after you." And I'm like, "No, no, no, that's quite all right. It's a little much. I'm just happy you're having some success." And then there are people who simply they see the process. And they're like, "I understand this. I understand that I'm making $7 per shirt. Now I'm willing to spend $6.99 out of that $7 to drive traffic and scale this thing."
Right.
Right? Because that's all it is. You're printing money. If you can spend less to get the royalty than your royalty is. That's all it is.
And I'll be
Right?
dead honest with you. I have close to 30 SKUs now, maybe over 30 if you include my parent-child variations. Many of them are not making $7. And I'm investing a lot of money and time in the research and shipping and you name it. So, yeah, I mean, if you, I know that varies a little bit in merch, but that to me just blows me away. And it goes back to what you said. The investment is zero.
Right. And this is like a zero. I mean, Amazon likes to run at like 1 or 2% margins, or like 1 or 2 points. They're not really looking to run negative. So I mean, that's kind of why you've seen a little price increase on merch in the past couple months.
Mm-hmm.
I can get into the details of exactly why that price increase came in.
Sure.
Um, But I mean, they're subsidizing this. I have bought, we might have said this on the last webinar, but I have bought a one-off T-shirt from another print company, and it cost me $60, right?
Right.
Now, Amazon, the printer, I've actually seen one of these printers now. They're called DTG, direct-to-garment printers. This one does two shirts at a time and can print a shirt in under 30 seconds. Shirt goes in, blank, comes out, completely done.
You know,
And they're as big as a car. It's
absolutely.
a massive machine.
For everybody on the webinar, if you guys saw the landing page I had, the background image was of the best video I could find of the best screen printer I could find. And that was slow compared to what you're saying, Chris. I mean, that thing was
Oh, screen
dog
printers, I
slow.
mean, they had different screens for every color. Like it's, I mean, I get why that one shirt costs $60, right? But that doesn't happen anymore. I mean, the printers that they now have that can print these shirts, and this wasn't like some, like one-off color shirt. This was a fully licensed NCAA shirt.
Wow.
This company had the licensing, they had the hologram stickers, and they put on the blank, and they came out, and they put the stickers on it, because they said, if we don't put this sticker on it, then we get in trouble. And
Dude,
they
that
gave
is
me one
insane,
on the spot.
man. That is insane. I don't know how many people out there have ever tried to do screen printing, but it's a paradigm shift in the game, guys. So yeah, I mean, it blows me away.
Yeah, so Amazon's given us this platform where for very reasonable t-shirt prices, 15, 20, $25, which includes shipping, then we can earn a nice royalty. On a $20 shirt, you were making about nine. I'd say you're closer to about $7 now. But I mean, your royalty is set when you create the shirt, when you make the listing, and you can price yourself high. If you can earn it, if your design is great, right? Now, if your design looks really crappy, you might have a harder time getting $32.99 for a shirt. But hey, the market decides, right? So if you can make a quality, people will buy it. So that there are really two things that we should probably focus on this webinar. And of
Right.
course, we can answer any questions that people have.
Sure.
But there's kind of two types of sales that I would kind of describe. One's organic, meaning you put the shirt up and you sit back and you expect people to be searching for that. Maybe you've done some keyword searching and realize people are searching for these keywords, but there's nothing represented on Amazon, or maybe no T-shirts, or some crappy T-shirts, and now yours is a better one, and you just kind of wait for people to find your stuff, and you hope that Amazon is serving up your item in search results. Or there's the driving the traffic, whether that's traffic from social media because you have an audience, or paid traffic because you're doing advertising. I mean, am I wrong? But I'm really only thinking of two ways to sell shirts: either organic or by sending traffic.
Absolutely. Well, I know that the traditional model, I was a former Teespringer. I didn't get extremely heavy in it. I know guys that are doing, we're doing, 1.2 million a month with Teespring back when it was super hot. But it was fun, but it definitely, it wasn't as open as this is to me, and it seemed a lot more cumbersome. I don't know if you find that this is just an easier platform or an easier business model, but I think in the regards that it is similar. You need to drive outside traffic.
Yeah, I mean, that was the Teespring model. I mean, the Teespring model was very lucrative, and I encourage everybody to go on Amazon, go to the Kindle store or the book section and search for Teespring, and look how many books were written about Teespring.
Okay.
And go to Udemy and go to Skillshare and go to all these websites and see all the courses and classes that were made about Teespring, because it was a sick model. It was a company saying, hey guys, we'll make your shirts. All you got to do is get the orders, right? If you can get the orders, boom, we're partners. All right? You guys got it? We're partners. You get and you make the design, right? And I'll print whatever and I'll ship whatever. I'm just sitting here with capacity, guys. Bring me designs and orders, and I'm going to make you guys a lot of money. People said, oh, I get that. All right, I've got a design, or I can find someone to make me a design or hire or whatever. And then I know how to drive traffic, because that's what they've been doing for their website, for their business, for whatever they've already been doing, and saying, this is a simple model. I have something for sale, a tangible product for sale. Thankfully, I don't have to make, ship, and do all that stuff. Teespring's going to do that. I just got to get them the orders. All right, I got this figured out. And they did it. And then people started writing books and guides about it, because it was a model that you could replicate. It was something you could teach people and say, look, this is how it works.
Oh yeah.
Right? But it still takes so much more investment than Amazon, because the biggest, Merch by Amazon is Teespring on steroids. Because anybody who's sold on Amazon should understand by now that Amazon has the Prime customer, that Amazon is a search giant, is a destination. People are going to Amazon to search for keywords to see what's out there, not necessarily Google. Those customers are already there. They're Prime. All the merch shirts are Prime eligible. They got free returns. It's one-click checkout. It's just simple. It's where people already are. Instead of making a shirt and hoping that someone finds it on your no-name website that Google doesn't know about, or hoping that a customer thinks to go to Teespring and see if Teespring's got some shirt they're looking for. No, they go over to Amazon. It's right there on Amazon. That's what makes this work. And it's gone through some growing pains, but I can tell you guys a story today that I think will put a smile on everybody's face about the true future of merch.
Oh, absolutely. Who wants to hear it? Can I get a 1? You guys into this or what? How good is Chris? Can we get a 1, a 2, a keyboard head smash? Let's see it. The infamous keyboard head smash. Yes.
Well, everybody knows. I'm gonna tell the story anyway.
Do it.
And I posted this in our Facebook group today. Kind of as an example. And now I've got a conference coming up on Sunday, and Brian, you may have mentioned this earlier about the new Facebook Messenger. Kind of a shortcut.
Yeah, I was going to let you do it. You turned me on to it. Literally, I was at the gym, guys, about an hour before this webinar, 2 hours, and I get this message from Chris. Chris, I'll let you tell him.
Well, it's crazy. You guys who have messaged me in the past on Facebook, it's probably one of the easier ways to get a hold of me is Facebook Messenger because it's just easy, and of course Facebook's doing that on purpose so that we use it. But they have now come out with 2 different things, and one, Brian, I didn't even show you this, but they now have a scannable code so that you can paste your code on a website or on a sticker or on a book, and people can message you by scanning that code with Messenger. But they have also shortened the link. They actually own the domain the letter m.me. Pretty short, almost as short as you can get. So m.me/ either your username or a page name. So if you use a page for your business, you can now talk to people through Facebook Messenger from your business page. That's huge. Businesses are now in Messenger. It was just profile to profile.
Right.
That was it.
Sure.
Now, if you go to my page, m.me/Chris, CHRIS, which is my messenger link for facebook.com/Chris, you can send me a message.
That's insane.
That's it.
That's insane.
So I made it on a shirt. I wanted it on a shirt for this conference that I went to, wanted to talk about it. And this, a little side note here, this is why it's important to network with other people. Whether they do exactly what you do or not, Brian's at the gym and he's like, oh, whoa, this is cool. Thanks for telling me this, Chris. This is not related to Amazon, not related to FBA, not related to merch, not related to the webinar, but useful anyway, right? And by hanging out with people, getting a little group together where you exchange ideas, maybe so-and-so's into this, and maybe so-and-so's better at something over here, then you're like, oh, I didn't know about that. Because there's so much happening so quick, so fast, you can't keep up.
Right. And you know what, though? I've got to give you, you're being humble, but you've been ahead of the curve on so many things. What's your actual URL? Isn't it just /Chris?
Yeah, you can go to facebook.com/Chris. Yes,
/Chris. How did you get that?
Can I play it, homie?
Yeah, right. You're way ahead of it on that one, dude. That's great.
I very much enjoy having that. It has opened some doors for me. I would encourage everybody to kind of think ahead sometimes and be like, you know what, I really do want that great domain name because it's going to get people to pay attention, right? And it happens. If I sign my emails with facebook.com/Chris, some people notice that and they're like, oh, wait a minute, I'm going to pay attention to this guy. And maybe I'm going to actually respond to this email even though I get a whole bunch of email. It's a little bit of a calling card. You can call it signaling, right? Like I'm signaling that I'm not just some random Joe, because in a sea of communication, it's like, oh, who is this guy, right? They don't know who I am, but I'm able to give them a little bit of a hint that, oh, wait a minute, I'm someone you really want to pay attention to, and kind of start relationships. So I've got shirts that say facebook.com/Chris, but I wanted the new messenger. I wanted m.me/Chris, and I put the messenger logo underneath. And I made that shirt yesterday, and it went live in the afternoon. I forget, I think it was maybe 3 or 4. And I was taking a chance. I was like, well, it says 5 to 7 days to ship, which is kind of a little bit of a downer on merch right now because everybody's used to Prime being 1 to 2 days shipping.
1 to 2 days, right?
Like ships today, right? Little countdown. Mm-hmm. Ships today. and you're gonna get it in 2 day shipping. So I choose 1 day shipping. I paid the extra $3.99, and it still said, hey, we'll ship it in 5 to 7 days, and they shipped it today, and it'll be here tomorrow.
Oh, that's great. Sure.
That that's merch
Right.
right now. Now Amazon's a big place, so a lot of this has to kind of trickle down. So the 5 to 7 day that you're seeing is going to eventually go down to 1 to 2 day, and eventually it's going to get down to the product timer, right? If you guys know what the product timer is, it says, order in the next 1 hour, 13 minutes, and 12 seconds, and choose 1 day checkout and have this product tomorrow, or choose 2 day and have it by Friday, or whatever it might be. That is a huge conversion piece for Amazon, if you think about it. I mean, I know I use it. If I see it, I'm like, ooh, I'm gonna buy right now because I don't want to wait another hour and now I can't get it, right? Like the worst thing for me is ordering something on like a Friday night that doesn't ship till Monday. Right now, a lot of my stuff ships on Saturday, Sunday, but man, if I have to order on Friday and it's a product that is in a warehouse that doesn't ship on Saturday, doesn't ship on Sunday, ships on Monday, it's 2 day, so I got to wait Tuesday, wait till Wednesday to get it. That's an eternity. It's an absolute eternity. It doesn't help me convert, right? It doesn't help me want to buy the product. But merch, with with what Amazon's doing with the local delivery and the 1 day shipping, they want to be, and I don't have a time frame on this, but it's in the foreseeable future. They want to be able to deliver a shirt in less than 24 hours. By the time you order it, less than 24 hours it'll be at your house.
Wow.
And in some parts of the country, it's going to be less than 12 hours. It can be same day, right? Because merch is very early right now. We've got a distribution center in Dallas, right? Because Amazon bought Woot.com a few years ago. They were already making the shirts, and that's where their distribution is right now for all their merch shirts. So not on the East Coast and West Coast, but Amazon's smart. There's going to be distribution centers on the East Coast and the West Coast, right? So more capacity and close to the customer. It's going to get shorter lead times, going to increase conversions, and it's going to increase the royalties for the merch sellers who are dominating this platform. And this is the important part, guys. Get in early and understand the nuances and know how to use the platform early. It is so early. FBA is like 8 years old plus, right? And it's still early. Still nobody knows about FBA. Merch is like 6 months old. Nobody knows about merch. The people who are on this webinar know more about merch than everyone else on the planet. Right? Like it really is that early. It's hard to like communicate sometimes because people think, oh, by the time I've heard of it, right? And if I'm talking to you guys, I mean, if you're feeling what I'm saying right now, understand that I've been in your shoes. I understand how you feel to say, well, by the time I hear about it, the opportunity's gone, right? Like I never find out about ground floor. I'm never in early enough to make some money. That is right now. I have no better way to tell you than to say, look, merch is 6 months old. You cannot walk around your town, your city all day and find one other person who's even heard of merch, right? You are early. You are ground floor. You have the chance to dominate. And this is kind of a cool platform because it isn't like, hey, you got to hurry because by next year, everybody's going to be on merch. Who cares, right? The competition can come in because this isn't a one-size pie. We're all fighting over the same pieces, right? When I upload a new shirt, that pie just got bigger because I'm uploading a new shirt and I'm going to sell it to my audience, or I'm going to drive traffic to my shirt listings, or I'm going to make a shirt that never existed before but is going to have some search results, and that pie is going to get bigger, and I'm going to sell. I'm not taking away from your pie, Brian, by selling shirts. We can both have this big pie. It's not like we're in competition with each other. Like, oh, it's going to get played out. And oh, there's going to be too much competition.
Well, you know what? A lot of the
Loser
times,
talk.
what I always think to myself, and I try not to think this way, right? Because it's just fucking frustrating. But if only I was in FBA 2 years ago. If only I was in 4 years ago.
Yeah, but who cares? You
Yeah,
can't.
who cares? But the point being, right, that
But you're in now.
I'm in merch now, and this is like being in FBA. Would you agree, Chris? It's like being in FBA when it first started.
It's the same excitement. It's the same. You wake up and you like just can't imagine. There's so many possibilities. You're like, well, what do I do? Should I source this? Should I get into this category over here? Or like, should I do like there are so many different things you can do. So part of the strategy that really should be for people is focus, right? Understand the platform and don't spend a lot of time on this, guys. This is not a complicated platform. This is upload an image, give it a title and a price, and you're live on Amazon. Now, there's things you can do to optimize. You're going to by the time you do your 28th shirt, you're like, oh, I wish I'd done that. I wish I'd organized my my shirts by brand name a little more, or oh, I wish I had, put this in all of my, descriptions and titles, or this is a much better keyword kind of, or order that I should be using. You're going to get better, but everything I just said doesn't matter. It's not going to like tank your first shirt and be like, oh, that shirt's never going to sell because you put your keywords in the wrong order. No, I mean that's not alone. You can go in and edit it, right? It's not like that's a big deal, uh, but it's wide open, right? But this will reward people who respect and honor the platform and kind of optimize it. It's really the same with FBA, right? Like who dominated with FBA, right? People who brought selection, people who priced competitively, right? Not people who said, I'm just going to throw everything at the wall at FBA and see what sticks, and I'm going to make my prices higher than everybody. No, you might have been early on FBA, but you sucked at it, right? Like you sent in crap and it was overpriced. And you're like, well, why does my stuff sell? You really want me to get like, your stuff's not going to sell. Your price too high. No one wants it. You know, you're not optimizing the platform. You're not learning it, right? And the same with merch. You can upload stuff and be like, why doesn't anybody buy my shirt? Like just because your shirt exists does not give it the right to sell. I've actually said that to must be a dozen people now. I uploaded a shirt, but it hasn't sold. It's been like 3 days. Like, I don't know what your shirt looks like, right? But just because it exists doesn't mean it's going to sell, right? And I do have a hard time finding a way to type out that someone's shirt design sucks. Every sentence I've written, they all just come out as snarky and mean and rude. And I can tell someone to their face, right? Or I can tell someone on the phone, be like, hey, man, not trying to be mean, but, I mean, like, take a good look at your shirt. Would you really buy it, right? Now, the text is hard to read. It's not going to, it's way too big. Get the image over in the armpits. Like, it's, you can give feedback better that way. And sometimes people don't want to hear it, but they're not optimizing, respecting the platform, in my opinion. But everybody can learn it. That's one of the cool things. If you're struggling with merch, if you feel like you're failing at merch, don't worry, right? Like I messed up with FBA at the beginning. I have 2 policy violations on my merch account, right? Like I messed up too, guys. It's no big deal. But I'm not going to quit, right? I'm going to learn. I'm going to optimize. I'm going to look for people who are successful and learn from them. But keep experimenting, and you'll reward yourself down the road. The worst thing you can do is just sit back and be like, oh, I'm gonna wait, or like, oh, it's been played out already. There's too many people. Like whatever. I mean, like if someone has a loser attitude, and I'm not trying to be insulting, but like if that's the mentality that people have, the only reason I don't spend much time there anymore trying to like pull those people along and pick them up is because there's too many other people who are already there that also want my help.
I'm going to call out
really
a few
so
people right now, not by name. You know who you are. You're on this webinar and you're typing in the chat box or the question box. And you're saying things like, I already feel like there's too much competition.
There's no competition. I mean,
I don't think I'll ever get in.
Everyone will get in. You want to hear from me? Everyone will eventually get in.
Payments are taking too long. I think I'm moving on to the next thing. Guys.
What next thing? Show me the next thing that is a better opportunity than merch by Amazon. Show me.
Listen.
I want to know because I want to dominate that too.
If you're on this webinar right now and you have that attitude, either A, you've never been on a webinar with Chris or myself because we're positive dudes, man. I mean, we look at the bright side. It's always half full, that type of a thing. I mean, abundance mentality. Or B, you're just, that is who you are. And if that's who you are, I have news for you. And Chris, you probably agree with this, but dude, you're never going to succeed. There's already too much competition. Well, what are you going to do? And what are you going to do with your life? Something else? You're going to go back to what you've always been doing? Or are you on this webinar to do something new? To find a way to create real passive income. I mean, Chris, can you think of anything else, including FBA or private labeling or OA or RA, that's more passive than merch?
No, and that's why this is the best opportunity. And it's, in my opinion, going to be the tip of the iceberg, right? Like, this is only T-shirts right now, right? That's all merch is. But it's not called shirts or T-shirts by Amazon. It's called merch. It's short for merchandise. Right? And there's a lot of different types of merchandise, from glassware to to hats, and this is just direct to garment right now. And they're not talking about embroidery and laser etching. I mean, it's going to be an on-demand economy where why should Amazon like stock your product? That costs more money. That leads to higher prices. They can offer lower prices and more selection. All they have is a bunch of blanks, and they can make it on the spot and send it to you. You think Amazon's going to do that just to like raise their margins and pocket the difference and to finally have a product that they make a profit on? No, they're going to lower the prices to you. And then you can pass them on to your customer, or you can earn a royalty on your stuff. But it's starting with t-shirts, right? But where's the next one? What's next? And what's next? And what's after that? So do you want to get in now and learn? Or do you want to have that defeatist attitude? And sometimes people need to hear it, right? I mean, that's why we're trying to call you out a little bit so that you kind of understand, like, wait a minute, I am being whiny. I am missing the opportunity. I am spoiled living in America, right? Like, I see it. I talk to people from Vietnam and Singapore and Taiwan, all over the world, who see the opportunity with merch as their ticket. They're like, I'm good at Photoshop, right? Because I've got like a computer, and wait, you know what? I'm not good at Photoshop. I'm going to learn Photoshop because I see the opportunity not just for me, but I can work with other people and I can offer my services and merch. I mean, if I'm a Photoshop guy and I want to make money with Photoshop and I've never learned how to do that, well, guess what? Now I say, ooh, I can make designs. I understand that there's this platform out there where people can take designs and make money with it. I'm going to find those people and make designs for them. So I can just be my Photoshop guy. But these other people out there are very hungry, and they will hustle, and they will wake up early, and they will stay up late. And if you want to sit in America and be like, I don't know, man. I mean, the internet's not very fast, so like, uploading takes too long. I mean, you're going to lose. I mean, it's not that you're going to lose. You've lost already. There are ways that people can get motivated and understand that, yes, I need to fight through this. This is a unique time in human history where, depending on how old you are, the practicality, and I'm stealing from Gary Vee a little bit, but the practicality of being an entrepreneur, of staying up 3 hours and learning Photoshop so that you can have a shot taken at bat at merch, is much more practical than it was the rest of your life, your entire life growing up, where these opportunities weren't there. So everybody told you, no, that's stupid. Oh, your idea is dumb. You're not going to start a business. They're all going to fail. Why are you doing that? You heard that your whole life, and you start to believe it, right? But now it really is practical, and it can be frustrating when you have to go to your friend and family, your neighbor, and be like, you know what? I've heard you say it over and over again, but no, not this time. I know that merch is my ticket. I see it. Like, guys, you have to believe it yourself. Because if you don't believe it, if you believe merch is a joke and like, oh, you can't really make 50 grand, Chris Green made that up. Like, if you believe that, I can't convince you otherwise because you believe it already, right? So do your thing, right? You're welcome to listen to the webinar. You can listen on replay. It doesn't matter. But Brian and I are going to help the people who are motivated, and we encourage everybody to come along for the ride. But man, we don't have time for the downers just because it's 2016. We won the lottery of birth, of being born and having the opportunity to do business in 2016. We won nothing but the lottery of when we were born. 100 years ago, nope. We don't have these opportunities.
You know,
and if you had the entrepreneur spirit, you were out of luck. You just basically had to let it eat away at you your whole life.
There are more opportunities now, I think, than there ever have been, and that can be overwhelming. So you really got to pick one and stick to it. You kind of have to throw on the horse blinders, right? Pick one or two and stick to it and make it fucking work. Because here's the thing. Everything that's passive. Now, those of you guys that know me, I'm a huge passive income junkie, right? Because I'm lazy. I'll be honest with you. I'm lazy. I work more than anyone else in order to be lazy because I know that's where my happy place is. I want to go hang out on the beach in a hammock, listen to the waves roll in with my dogs and my family, and that's it, period. I mean, that is all I need in my life. I'm a simple man of simple needs. So I work my ass off now to get there. This is what we like to call front loading. Okay. So we're going to put in the work to learn merch or learn FBA and Get in there for a year, get in there for 2 or 3 or 5 years, however long it takes you to master one thing, do it until you get to your goal. If it's 5 grand a month, then more power to you. If it's $500,000 in profit a month, more power to you. But get to it. Put the horse blinders on, stop the shiny object bullshit, stop chasing that thing down the road, and stick to one thing. I see too many people bouncing around, especially in the groups. Oh, this isn't working. This isn't working. I see the same faces over and over in this group, and then they're in that group, and then they're talking about this opportunity, and then talking about that opportunity. Put on the horse blinders. Get focused. Get myopic. Get obsessed. I mean, Chris, dude, you're one of the most obsessive guys in the world. I love it. That's how you're always ahead of the curve. I'm obsessive, guys. That's why I've gotten to where I've gotten in many of my businesses. And for those of you that are on this webinar that don't understand that over I think last I checked, it was 1,936 people that registered for this webinar. We've got hundreds of people live. For those of you that are being impatient, you know who you are, saying things, okay, so it's 8:43. Most people here are already in merch. What's the focus of this webinar? Things like that. That means that you're selfish, okay? We don't want people like you on this webinar. We want people on this webinar that understand that there are people at different levels of the game. Like I said in the beginning, respect goes to those that are on this webinar and understanding that there are different people at different levels in their career. So you're on this, you're going to get a ton of value, but not with attitudes like that. Okay? So one more comment from you like that, you're out. You understand? Good. Sorry, Chris. Keep moving up.
I ain't even worried, man. People are welcome to their opinions. I don't want anybody to be deterred, by negative comments, because people are smart, right? If someone wants to come in and be negative, they can be negative. People are going to see it and be like, "You're crazy," right? Like you're only hurting yourself to come in and try to put down. This is the best opportunity that I've ever seen, without a doubt, right? The only thing that's going to change that is if something else comes along that is even cheaper to start, right? Whether this one here is already free,
right?
And I don't know how it's
you're on a free webinar and you're learning a free opportunity. You know what? If you don't get a ton of value from this webinar, I promise you I will double your money back. Okay?
Wait, this is a rare. I'm not going to be doing a lot of free stuff moving forward. I know a lot about a lot, and I know I provide a lot of value to people. But there is a little bit of the dynamic where if it's free, people don't value it. Right now, if you pay me $5,000 for me to teach you all this stuff, you're going to take action because now you got skin in the game. But I'm going to tell you the exact same thing as I'm going to tell you right now, right? The information's the same. There are no deep, dark secrets that the big money players out there just keep themselves and they sell them for a high price and that's it, right? You just need to believe it. You need, that's what you need, like an accountability coach or a mentor. It's just so that you believe it, right? But I want to frame something for everybody here, right? Like there's a little bit of a narrative going out there, and Brian, we're guilty of like kind of setting the narrative right now. We put out there $50,000 a month, and people are gonna be like, "Yeah, I want to do that. I want to be the $50,000 a month merch by Amazon seller." And guys, that is possible. That is entirely possible and attainable. And by this time next year, there's gonna be people making $100,000 a month, $250,000 a month through merch by Amazon by next year. But let's keep it realistic and in perspective. All right. So here's the perspective. And you may know the answer to this question, but if not, I'm going to ask it to you. If you want to be in the top 10% of earners in the U.S., top 10%, how much money you got to make?
Let's see, guys. Put it in there. If you want to be in the top 10%, how much do you have to make?
Top 10%, which I think most people on this webinar, if I kind of got the demographic right, would be very happy to tell all their friends, hey, I'm top 10% like the whole country. I'm not making $10 million, but I'm top 10. I may not be top 1%. But I'm top 10%. I'm making more than 90% of the people who live in this country.
Okay, here we go. 10K, 150, 250, 50K a month.
10K.
I don't know. Trey, 10K. I think you got that wrong, brother.
90% of the country makes less than $10,000 a month. No, all right, no.
200.
There's more than that.
200, 100, 100 to 200, 100,000, 400, 250.
All right, there's some close answers in there. The answer is 155,000.
Yep.
155K puts you in the top 10%. I think everybody should be consider themselves very successful. They didn't only just crack 6 figures, right? That's the term from like the movies and TV, like, oh, I'm making 6 figures, dog. Well, now you're making 155,000. You're in the top 10%. 155,000 is very, very attainable with merch by Amazon. Very attainable.
I like to do the math on that. If you break it down, right? What's 100? You guys do the math for me because as I said, I'm lazy. So do the math. What's 155,000 a year break down to a month, and then break that down to a week, and then break it down to a day. Let's all do that together. This makes it more tangible, Chris. Don't you agree? This is kind of a fun little exercise.
All right, that's 3 grand a month.
Is it?
No, 3 grand a week. 3 grand a week.
3 grand a week. Okay, so that's 3 grand a week. What does that break down to a day? Right? Because merch is live. How? What? 24/7.
Yeah, it's between 4 and 500.
So it's
All
400.
right, so between 4 and 500 royalties, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you're making, say you're making $5 a shirt, you got to sell 100 shirts, right? Now you're basically going to have access to an unlimited catalog, right? Now
It's only
when
85 shirts.
people start, you're going to get 25. And guys, listen up. The reason I told you guys that story about, hey, I made a shirt yesterday, I ordered it today, or it got shipped today, it's going to be here tomorrow, is to let you guys know that merch is keeping up with capacity. All right, that's the only reason they're keeping people out. That's the only reason they're keeping people tiered at certain levels, not letting them upload more listings, because they have a capacity issue, right? It doesn't do merch any good to let in a bunch of sellers where your shirts are going to take 18 to 20 days to ship, right? Like, congratulations, you're in merch. Nobody's ordering because no one wants to wait 3 weeks for their shirts to ship. I wouldn't buy a shirt. I wouldn't even bother. By the time it's shipped, I wouldn't care about it anymore, right? So they have a capacity issue, and this isn't like flipping on switches on servers. This is buying $500,000 printers that take 3 people to run and train and maintenance. I mean, it is a big operation. They are catching up. They don't treat my shirts special at all. My shirt got uploaded, got ordered, and it got shipped. So when capacity catches up, they're going to let more people in. So everybody that's waiting, I understand. I know it's frustrating, but you will get in. And when you do get in, you're only going to get 25 shirts. So you're going to say, Chris, you're talking about having so many different varieties of shirts and how many different uploads, but I only got 25. Well, guys, you have to make stuff that sells. Now, if you make stuff that sells, Amazon will reward you, and they will tier you up from 25 to 100 to 500 to 1,000 to 1,000 to 4,000 and all the way up. If you make shirts that sell, Amazon will give you as many slots as you want. I promise. Amazon is not going to restrict anybody who is helping them fill capacity, keep their machines running, have orders coming in. They do not want you uploading 4,000 designs, and they all suck.
Hey,
and they
Chris.
sit there.
Chris?
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt, brother. I love what you're saying. I just want to share something with you and the audience right now. Dude, I just got approved. That is no bullshit. I think it's your good juju on this webinar, man. I just got approved. That is awesome. So I probably was approved a long time ago. I just actually logged in. I'm in. So thank you, man. Appreciate that.
Hey, I wish I could take credit for it. If I had planned this ahead, I'd been like, hey, Brian, I got a surprise for you.
Look at this. I got, yeah, baby, great. Me too, me too, me too. Boom, yay, I did too. Sweet congrats. Awesome congrats. Yeah, thanks, guys.
Maybe a ton of people got approved right now. Guys, if you're waiting, and a lot of people are not getting the email. They're not getting a congratulations. It's just, okay, you're approved. Now you got to go log in.
Yeah, I didn't get
an email. So go log in.
I got no notification on that. So we're going to call that the ninja approval process there, guys. Hey, why doesn't everyone that's applied and it hasn't got an email, go log in. Tell us if you got approved or not.
Log in right now. And guys, remember, you probably have more than one Amazon account. If you have a buyer account, seller account, you know, your husband's, wife's account, whatever it is, make sure you're logging in on the right account, right? Because you might be approved and not even know it.
Oh, shit, Chris. It is going down now. I'm about to go.
Maybe it just happened. Dude, that would be incredible.
On this.
Blanket approved everybody.
That would be great.
All at once.
That'd be amazing. I'm going full beast mode. Awesome, man. So,
all right, so you killed my train of thought here. Right?
I'm so sorry. I did it on purpose. Why don't we do this, brother? Why don't we jump into? We can all see your screen. Let's jump into some meat and potatoes. Let's talk about some real actionable items that we can do. I mean, I love what you're saying here, but I know that you've got so many golden nuggets to share. We don't want to go 4 hours, although we could easily. So yeah, let's jump into it, my man.
Well, I don't have any like special fancy stuff that I can show you on my account. I mean, I can show you my little merch alert thing that pops up here that tells me how many merch shirts I sold and updates my royalty as I go.
That is awesome. What is that?
That's a little custom Chrome extension that we made. It's called Merch Alerts. You can find it at merchalerts.com.
Oh, man.
And yeah, keeps track of your royalties. It comes up with a little cha-ching every time you sell a shirt. And it's just a little positive reinforcement that keeps you going. Right now it's only on Google Chrome. But depending on how many people start using it, we might start adding it like some email and text notifications just for fun.
Wow.
And
Very cool. Let me throw it in the
yeah,
chat box
it's
here. So
cool
what's the
stuff.
URL again, Chris?
But I want to make sure we outline, the way that people merch alerts.
Merchalerts.com. There you go,
I think
guys.
it's merch alerts.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a free extension.
Okay. Very cool. This looks strangely like ClickFunnels.
So yeah. Anybody that signs up, we hope you enjoy it. Give me feedback on it,
Great.
dude. Some guy got me into ClickFunnels.
I don't know who would have done that, really. That
I
guy.
used your affiliate link, man. You're gonna start getting checks.
Hey, all right. For as long as I've been doing webinars, I've never pushed ClickFunnels. I probably should have, but I never did. So for everyone that is interested in ClickFunnels, hit me up and use my.
I like it. It had a little learning curve to it, but I got it.
Good. Well, let me know if you need any more help, man, because I know we get a ton of value from you. So I'm signing up right now.
No, basically just send me your funnel that had that cool video in the background because that looked really cool.
For sure. Yeah, I'll send it to you.
I was gonna edit that funnel.
Yeah,
great.
yeah, absolutely. It's already a template, so no worries. I'll send it on over to you.
It's good stuff.
Great.
So
Let me ask you a question here before. Okay, I'm signed up. Sorry, guys. Sorry for the lull there. How many of you guys are signing up for merch alerts right now? We probably lost half the audience. Let me ask you a question, Chris. So realistically, getting in, I just got approved, right? And this isn't BS, guys. I literally logged in and was approved just as I checked. Realistically, if you could break it down into kind of a 1, 2, 3 step process, what would you say, separates the people that are successful from the people that are not with merch?
Well, some of this comes straight from Amazon, and I don't think it's a secret that I know some of the guys at Amazon. I know some of the guys at Merch. There are things I can say, and there's things I can't say.
Mm-hmm.
But there are things that they've told me that what's Amazon going to reward? And one is great designs. Now, what is that? That's subjective, right? Like what makes a great design? Because when you see a great design, you know it, right? And when you see crap, you know it. There's a lot in between, but you need to constantly try to improve and make great designs. Now, if you're a designer, great. If you're not, hey, you can either learn. Adobe Photoshop's only $10 a month. Adobe's got a complete tutorial video series. They'll teach you everything there is to know about Photoshop. You can go on YouTube and search for everything you ever want to know about Photoshop. And for some people, that's what they need, right? They can do that. For everyone else, they're not into it, right? They're never going to be a designer, and understand that, right? Some people, that's a waste of their time to even try. You have the internet, right? Find someone who's good and be willing to pay them for their time. Find a designer, hire them, right? But now I can hear it already, right? Like, but Chris, you said this was free. How designers aren't free? No, designers aren't free. But I bet you I could find a way to make them free. I could partner with a good designer and say, hey, designer, let's do this.
Boom.
You make me these designs. I know they're going to sell because I've done my research, because my research is still free, right? I can watch videos. I can scour the internet for what's trending and popular. I can cross-reference that for what products are and are not on Amazon and say, look, if you make a shirt or a design like this, I'm going to upload it and we're going to split the royalties. What do you think? And the first designer is going to say, no, screw you. And the second designer is going to say, what are you talking about? I don't even know you. And the third designer is going to say, why not? Maybe it'll work. And now you have a designer, right? Like, make it a win-win. This is not that hard. And people are like, someone asked this question in my group yesterday, what's the going rate for a designer? I'm like, whatever they're worth, right? Maybe that designer's worth 50 cents. Maybe that designer's worth $800 because they make some badass stuff.
So,
right?
Can I
They are what they're worth.
Would you mind if I interject here real quick, Chris?
No.
Cool. So check this out, guys. For many of you that are on this webinar that know me, I run a marketing agency out here in Chicago as well. I've definitely killed off most of my employees, not literally, figuratively, of course. Point being that I had at one point 4 designers working in my office. They come cheap, and I don't mean that they are cheap. Their quality was very high, and I only put one Craigslist post out there looking for a full-time designer, in-house full-time designer. We had more applicants for that position than we did at any other position. Now, here's the problem, because most people out there, most really good designers, are just good designers. They are not marketers like you who are smart enough to be on this webinar. They're not anything else. Most good designers stick their head into Photoshop or Illustrator or whatever medium they use, and that's all they do all day long. And they're obsessed. So you can go out, and most of the time that doesn't equal a gargantuan amount of money either. So you can go out and make a few posts. I recommend Craigslist, or you could go out on Freelancer. Freelancer is a lot more people posting, and it's more of a level playing field. I would say go to Craigslist, make a post, talk about the opportunity, talk about the potential revenue share or profit share. Say you're looking for a partner, and it can be anywhere. Guys, you don't have to post in your city. Of course, you could go get a coffee with your new designer friend, but I love Craigslist for that reason. And take it from me, I've hired lots of designers, and it works really, really well. Okay, so hit Craigslist, try to make a partnership, unless you're just an awesome designer like Chris is. Chris is a master of Photoshop now.
Actually, I'm not. But I will say that I do know enough to get around and to make a pretty basic shirt on the fly. And I've done that on a few times to get something up super fast after something truly happened.
Sure.
But it always happens because I got a few design buddies. And people say, well, what do they charge? I got people that charge nothing, right? Because we're friends. I say, hey, can you make me this? And for them, it's 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it's 90 minutes, right? And I could probably get it close. But even then, the number of times I've done something and I said, hey, can you make it your version of this? Here's the idea. And whatever they make looks great. Why? Because they're a designer, right? It's like I could decorate a house, right? And I'd think it looks great. But then if you have an actual interior designer come over and actually design the interior of your house, you're like, whoa.
Absolutely.
Now this is incredible.
But you know what?
Because that's what
like a good designer, like an interior designer, you know what they're going to do, right? They're going to say, what do you think? What do you want? So if you've got an idea, dude, just go out and tell a good designer. They will come back with something far better than you can imagine. You have to get somebody that you can work with that you relate to, and that doesn't happen instantly, obviously. So you want to find someone you vibe with right off the bat. And I'm a big fan of going with your gut. So if you're interviewing potential designers, trust in your instincts. If you go, oh man, I'm vibing with this person, we're really getting along, or they're understanding my ideas right away. And that's kind of why I think, and Chris, I don't know if you've had experience with designers overseas, but I have, and it's a struggle, put it to you that way.
You know what I mean? Well, I mean, there's a little language barrier, there's the understanding Amazon, there's some of that. But I mean, the thing that I see most often, and I see this a lot with the entrepreneur, it's the same thing like the inventor whose idea is going to die with them, right? Like your neighbor invents something, say, hey, I got this new invention. You're like, oh, cool, what is it? Oh, nice try. I'm not going to tell you because then you're going to steal my idea. Like, dude, I'm your neighbor. Like, I am not interested in your new lawnmower.
6 minute abs, Chris. 6 minute abs.
I'm not I just want to help you, man.
Right.
I'll help you with your invention. I'm not going to steal it. But it's that little bit of that mentality of there's no trust, and everybody thinks everybody's going to stab each other in the back as soon as you get the chance. Stabbed in the back.
Yeah.
And it's simply not the case. People who want to design, they're thrilled that you took their design and made some money with it with t-shirts. They're not interested in applying for a merch account. There are programmers who just want to program. That's it. They don't care what you do with the program. They just want to program it, get paid, and move on. So do not project. And guys, I was talking to someone about this on the phone today. This is something I personally struggle with. And when someone does something, I'm like, well, why don't you just do what I'm going to do with it? Why don't you just take it and go sell it? Why don't you just build a website and a Facebook group and make some YouTube videos and set up ClickFunnels and all this stuff? And just saying it out loud, it sounds more preposterous, right, than thinking, oh, they're just going to do it. Like, what I do with it is a different skill set that they don't want to do.
Right. And
they're very happy doing what they want to do. It's a great partnership, but do not project and do not think that, oh, this isn't going to work. Because if I just tell them I'm putting on merch, they're just going to put on merch themselves. No, I know tons of designers who do great designs. That's all they do. They understand merch, but they're not interested. They would much rather make the designs and sell them to people, and that's it. I promise. And if you struggle finding somebody, let us know. We'll help you. I mean, I pulled up 2 places. This is Upwork, where I found lots of people. You can post a job. right here, design creative, and you can put anything you want. You can put graphic design, illustration, logo design. You're probably going to find a bunch of people who respond to anything you post in here and tell them what you want. And Fiverr has already, actually, know one of the guys at Fiverr, a pretty big seller there who works with their corporate office. And I said, guys, merch by Amazon is like your thing. Like, this is where you guys have to be. And now you have sellers who are specifically advertising, I will make you merch by Amazon stuff.
Yep.
You can go for $5 and you tell them what you want. And if you find someone good that you get along with, like, take it off site and be like, hey man, I want you working for me. I want to be able to send you an idea and you do mine right away, and I'm gonna pay you for it. I'm gonna pay you first.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pay you more than everybody else.
Right. Right.
And they're gonna sit there and be like, great, this is amazing, because they're not gonna do the keyword research and the product read. They don't want to. They want to make eat your veggies shirts. That's all they want to do.
Guys, Chris, let me ask you a question. And guys, this is why I love having Chris on. Is you're just so full of knowledge, dude. Like, and everything you say, I don't know if it's good or bad, but I've got 5 follow-up questions to everything you say.
Maybe I'm not explaining things right.
No, you're doing a better job, I think, than you should, because you got my creative wheel spinning here. So a lot of what the strategies were. Let's talk strategy for a second. So you've got a great designer, right? Let's move this down the line. You found a great designer. You got your homies with your designer. You guys are 50-50. Okay, 0 cost to entry, or you're paying them full time. And either way, you guys have something good going. Now, what are some of the better strategies in terms of coming up with ideas? Now, I've got a lot of interesting ideas on how to come up with good shirts, but I want to hear what you have to say and see if maybe I'm falling into some of the right ballparks here.
Well, you want to go organic, or do you want to go, we're going to drive some traffic?
Well, I think coming up with the idea is probably the next step, right? So, all right, cool. We're past the hurdle. We're in merch. We got approved, right? We're entrepreneurs, at least partial entrepreneurs now. We're not in the wantrepreneur stage anymore. We're doing it, right? And now we've got the part 2 is great. We're approved. Part 3 is all right, cool. I found a great designer. Part 4 now is all right. So how do I come up with good ideas, dude? I mean, we've got all the puzzle pieces together, but I can't think of anything. I'm still trying to come up with where's the beef, or just do it.
Well, we can't use those, all right? We don't want to get into trademark.
Right. That's a whole nother can of worms. But how do what would you recommend in terms of coming up with good ideas?
All right, we're gonna do a few things. My 2 favorite sites for kind of keeping up with trendy stuff are Yahoo and BuzzFeed. Now, there may be other sites, that kind of keep up with this stuff, but these are just the 2 that I personally like. I've told this to many people. It's in my Merch by Amazon course, and I think people just really don't believe me. All right, but I understand, it does take a little creative idea, and the best way to do that is to kind of just watch someone do it. Right, so we're going to do some right now. This is on the fly. We don't know what we're going to find, and I'm just going to kind of talk out loud what could be made into shirts through here. All right. Now, of course, we're in election mode. Political figures, for the most part, are fair game. I took down all my Trump shirts just because I didn't want trouble, and but for the most part, political figures, they're really not going to fuss. Now, I'm opening up a lot of tabs up here. I do that on purpose. Now, I've been to a few places and I've asked, what's the number one? I got a big direct-to-garment, print-on-demand companies. I said, what's the number one product right now? Is it Trump? You tell more Trump stuff, and it's actually Bernie Sanders stuff, believe it or not.
Wow.
So if you just type in "feel," right, which "feel the burn" is one of their little kind of catchphrases. Now, I've got a good eye for this, right? Like, I know this is a merch shirt. I can tell, right? I can tell by the outline. I can tell by the placement of the tag. It's just I have seen this shirt outline so much that I know it's a merch shirt.
They all use
the top
same
3
template, right,
results.
Chris? They all use pretty much the same template. Is that right?
Well, this is the Anvil shirt. The American Apparel look a little different. They're all going to have the second image, right, with the blue. Okay. They're all going to have that. They're all going to be Prime eligible.
Sure.
You'll get good at noticing them. Right, so the top 5 items are all merch by Amazon. The long sleeve shirt is not. You can see this shirt is not. This one's wrinkled. It's not. This one's not. I mean, it doesn't surprise me. You could make the argument that it's the Amazon algorithm that's saying, well, it's merch, so we're going to bump it. I think it's probably more that because it's Prime eligible, that it's just selling more. And because it's selling more, Amazon's putting up there as the most relevant result. Like this example here is, well, that's a woman's cut. That's what I think. It's a woman's cut American Apparel. All right, so let's look at the sales. Actually, let me turn on one of my extensions. This is DS Amazon Quick View. It's a free extension you guys can find.
Great extension, guys. By the way, if you don't have it, it's fantastic.
Yeah, I like to turn it off because it like
The
messes with everything.
hover over is crazy. Yeah, absolutely.
Shop by cat. Well, let's go to men's. All right, so see now it's going to load up the ranks and put sold by Amazon. So see top 6,000, top 7,000, 46,000, 60. I mean, this has a great rank, but it's not merch. They got their own kind of image going. So you can get an idea of what's selling, right? So you say, okay, I know I want to make Field of Burn shirts, right? Now, the idea that I have, I mean, the Field of Burn is like it's so obvious, right? Because it's right there. You can look up, and actually, let me show you a trick. Oh, this is an early one. You know how I know this is early? Because they have more than 5 colors. This shirt has been up for a long time. Whoever made this shirt has made a lot of money. 171 days. Look at that. They have been on merch for a long time. So let's go to the description. Actually, they may not have put in. All right, here we go. Actually, this might not be right either. Let me see this one because it is such an early. This is an early shirt too. What, Gift Corner made all 3 of these? They're making some money off this one. Good for them. Net proceeds will be donated to Bernie Sanders campaign. Yeah, maybe.
Maybe. Yeah. Who's saying?
Maybe not.
That's who.
I mean, that's funny. All right. So, oh, look at this. The Caucasian shirt already made it up. I don't know if you saw this. This was in the news. I forget. I don't know what the
Oh yeah,
interview was about.
Briefly saw that. Mm-hmm.
So someone made this. Wow, it's top 2,000.
Sure.
And let's see how long it's been on Amazon. -1 day. So you see, this is the first time Keep has looked at it. And you see, this is one of the issues with merch that people might get frustrated and say, hey, but look, like everybody can just copy it. And look, this guy put the money behind the ear instead of like a $ feather. And like yeah, like, but this isn't anybody's design, right? So it is a very false argument to say, like, oh, someone copied you copied it too.
Right.
Right? Like, now I get that this isn't, I mean, to me, this isn't copyable, right? Like, did someone make this? Sure. I'm not the trademark copyright police. I don't know who made it first. I don't care. But whoever made this very likely got it from, I mean, I don't know if we could find.
Hey, congrats, Phil. Phil just said, woohoo, I'm in. I just got in.
Oh, dude, maybe everybody got in.
I don't know. We're getting a lot of people saying, I'm in. Fantastic.
All right, so this was an ESPN interview that they did, and this guy wore this. I mean, and it's a big Indians thing. You know, there's a Chief Wahoo or Yahoo guy, offensive to many Native Americans, and people, you know, this kind of throws it back. Like this doesn't make sense, guys. Like, you know, what do you think about this? But I mean, it was in the news. That's the key. It was in the news. It was trending. People are thinking, they see the shirt and they're like, oh, that's hilarious. Where can I get one? And they go to Amazon. They don't go to Google. They go to Amazon, right? Now, how did we find this? There's a little trick that I did is I put in one of the bullet points from a merch shirt, and it brings up pretty much all the merch shirts, right? Now, they're in a default order of relevance, which is not necessarily going to be by sales rank. Like this one here. I mean, like, amazing. 4.5 million. It's number 3 result for this keyword search, right? Like, amazing. Good for him. But you can go through here and get some ideas and be like, you know what, that's good, but you know what I would do? I would make it like this, right? Like, I don't even know what this means, right? Like, I don't need to know what it means. I could look it up. I could Google it if I wanted to. I probably wouldn't do this with this Captain America thing, but whatever.
You're getting a little risky there, but you know they've got
Captain Autism.
Right.
I mean, I get it. It's just I wouldn't play that game because I value my merch account too much. Just like I value my CreateSpace account and I value my Amazon FBA account. I'm not. There are things I will push with trademark and copyright and authentic products and stuff like I would not mess with.
Sure.
But to each of their own, right? So this is a great way to get examples, see some sales ranks very easily. You don't have to click all the way through to see these sales ranks. But we're already off topic because there's so many rabbit trails you can go down. I'm still back here, and I'm looking at this guy. I'm looking at Bill Clinton, right? Because if Hillary Clinton gets nominated, all of a sudden we don't have a first lady. We have a first man, first husband,
First.
whatever it is, right?
Sure.
So let's look at, and you see if I put in Bill Clinton first, it already puts up, people are searching for Bill Clinton, first man in clothing, in all departments, and in novelty,
Sure.
right? Now this is fresh, and I have no idea what we're going to find. Absolutely no idea. Let's find out. All right, so we got these buttons. You see why DS Quick View like really slows everything down?
It does.
All right, so we got some Bill for first lady here. Bill for first, I like that, first dude. That's great.
Great.
That's great.
Sure.
I think there needs to be more Bill first dudes.
Chris, let me ask you a question. So just staying in topic here. So you've got Bill for First Lady. Now there's several different, typography and fonts used. What if you went out and you know this is selling well? What if you went out and found a great designer, Bill for First Dude there in the bottom right-hand corner, and just redesigned something is selling well? What do you think of that strategy?
I have no problem with that.
Mm-hmm.
Because this isn't like something like this guy who put Bill Clinton in front of the White House put Bill for First Dude. It's not like, whoa, that is so unique.
Right.
I mean, there's just no other way to really describe, what like no, like it's a thing. Like if I made that shirt and someone else did it, I mean, I was making IDK not Trump though shirts. I was the first one to have those up.
Right.
And lots of people copied it, but I mean,
sure.
I saw it as because someone made a picket sign and put it in their yard, and I saw it on Facebook because a bunch of people shared it. And I mean, reverse engineer it, guys. If a bunch of people share something, maybe a lot of people respond, react.
Let's think about that.
Maybe that's something that could be made into a shirt, right? Oh, it's a sign in a yard. Yeah, I can put that on a shirt, and it doesn't take any time, right? So I tried to make mine like I want them to look good. Right? Sorry, this Bill for Bill 4 isn't even centered at the top, right? Like, I get maybe the thumb is why they did that, but this isn't like this is amazing design, right? It's black and white. You can make it in color with merch by Amazon. You can do anything you want to it. Now, I don't, you can copy these, right? I've got another. Let's find all right, so this one here, this is a merch shirt. This is another extension that you guys can get. I forget where I was at Merch Power right now, and it's download high-res image, right? So on any merge shirt, I can download this image, and now I got the high-res image. I can pull it up right here. Well, wherever it went, there it is. Right now, this is not 300 DPI, 4500 by 5400 PNG file. This is 1500 pixels. This is high resolution as you're going to get. This is the image that you can zoom in on when you're shopping on Amazon. Now, could someone take this and crop it out and like upload it? Yeah, it's going to look like crap, right? Because it's just not going to work. But I have no problem. If someone took my shirt like this and said, you know what? Copy this and like, I want like a ribbon here with the stars, but don't use this one. I mean, there's a lot of different ribbons with stars, right? There's a lot. You could change the fonts. I mean, Bill Clinton for First Lady is not a trademarked phrase.
What about the image of Bill himself?
This goes back to the and again, I'm not a lawyer, so
Sure.
do what you want to do. But being that it's a politician, I would not have as much. Now, I wouldn't steal like an AP photo, right? Now, like official, like this is like his official presidential, picture from when he was president.
Right.
I don't know. Like, is that cool? Is Bill Clinton going to come after you? Probably not. These are things that people got to make their own kind of decision on, or if you have like a lawyer buddy, and don't get me wrong, I've got a whole list of questions. I'm gonna go hire a lawyer, get them answered once and for all, so that people kind of know what they can do. But I probably wouldn't put the picture on because I think the picture looks kind of dumb. My opinion.
I wonder how that would look on a shirt. I've never ordered a shirt from merch that has an actual photograph on it. I wonder if that prints out and it looks good.
I don't know. I mean, people could try, right?
Yeah.
I mean, to me, that's the cheapest way. I just order this guy's shirt.
Mm-hmm.
See
Yeah,
what it looks like.
$18 now.
Instead of making my own.
Right.
I love the first dude part.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a big opportunity for that, to have a great looking Bill for first dude. You put a little American flag stuff at the bottom. It's great. But you see, they don't come up first. Uh, let's see if Jess shirts 352. You see that there's some merch. So like we didn't know that there were merch shirts for this, but how did we get this idea? Well, what's trending? Oh, okay. Well, Hillary Clinton's going on. Okay, Bill Clinton. Let's see if anybody wants to do that. Like that's really the thought process. There's not like a big, complicated thing here. So what else can we find here before I show you like another secret trick? Actually, these Cheetos, you know what they make me think?
What's that?
Someone should make what would you call that when you get Cheetos all over your fingers?
Um, I don't know. I have a cousin that's a ginger though, and we tell him that he sheds like a bag of Cheetos.
Cheetos shirt. I think someone made like a Crohn's
Shirt
shirt.
smudge. You do the Cheetos shirt smudge. Oh, it's new. There you go. There's a new idea for everybody on the Webby right now.
I think you should have like like these orange like smears across your shirt, like you're wiping
Right.
uh, your Cheetos hand across. And I can't use the word Cheetos, right? So you might have to like target it towards people who say they like Cheetos, or tell your friends and family. Um, I mean, these Chester Cheetah. I think this is probably infringing, but
Yeah, it looks like it probably is.
whatever. So
Looks like a
here's
lot of
another
people
little
don't care
trick with.
about that either.
Here we go. Let's look up shirts. Let's find all the articles here about shirts. Right? So here's a whole list of shirts. Urban Outfitters shirts.
Hmm.
And these are ones that say went too far. Right? Cute t-shirts you want to wear every day. All right, let's look at these. See what's on here. All right, some of girl power. So we could check, right? So what's the quickest way I could check? Uh, uh, you can check the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office for girl power, and you know what? We're going to do that. But I want to show you a fancy trick. I've been up to a lot of stuff lately. All right, so GRLPWR. Right now, I post this to only me because I don't want to go out on the internet, but I need this posted on the internet so that I can highlight it. All right, so watch this. I can highlight this. I can right click, and I can go to the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office in one click. Oh, my session's expired. Come on. You're going to make me do it the hard way.
What was that plugin?
That is OA Highlight.
OA Highlight.
Made for online arbitrage. So if I want to do this, I could check Google, Amazon Calculator. I could sell it, keep a camel, eBay, check all the other international sites.
Great.
All right, so let's search for trademarks. Let's do a big. I know I'm going fast, guys, but you guys can find this. That's GRLPWR, and let's see if anybody's trademarked that.
So, Carol, thank you for your answer there. Carol says that photos print well if they are the right resolution. So I'm assuming that's 300 DPI.
All right, so girl power. This needs to be a shirt, right? Well, let's do our research, right? Let's do our due diligence. Let's see what is on Amazon for. And look at that. It came up. Like you see that. It came up. Like it knows what I'm looking for.
Yep. It's right there. There you go.
And I mean, like this shirt can be improved, right? Is this the only merch shirt?
Look at that.
That's it.
Wow.
That is it.
Wow.
There's one merch shirt, and sorry, I might know who who is selling this, but this isn't like, whoa, boom, drop the mic design, right? This is it. You have a lot you could do to improve this. You could have some girl like the Rosie the Riveter spinoff. You could have like a woman with her arms crossed. You could have a woman with her hands on her hips, looking like a badass. You do a lot of stuff, or you keep it simple, girl power, just like this, right? And maybe you make it with pink, text on a white shirt, right? There's so much you can do with this. And how do we find this? We went to BuzzFeed and like, oh, look, the number one right here. Now, when people go here, now look, they give a link, right? They're going to tell you can get this on Etsy, which this is too easy, right, guys? Opens the door. We're going to go over to Etsy. And we're going to see what else this person sells, because maybe they have other great ideas. And what do you know? Crybaby, catch flights, not feelings, by Felicia. This person has 41 different shirts, probably all words that might be like Yeah, we need to check it out. We Out, Harriet Tubman, 1849. Girls do not dress for boys. Nah,
Here's an
Rosa
interesting
Parks. Love it.
question for you, Chris. Do you suppose that this seller on Etsy has an Etsy store that they've uploaded their images to, right? And they are fulfilling through Amazon.
No, I highly doubt that. And I don't recommend it because of the lead time. Although I just said a couple times tonight how their lead time is awesome. But merch is not designed for drop shipping. Um, I just think it's so much easier to send traffic to Amazon, just have them buy from Amazon, than to try and get that sale on another channel. And you know what I mean? It just seems like that's more complicated than it needs to be, right? Like, why am I going to open an Etsy store and try to attract customers when the customer just needs to go to Amazon, right? Like, it's already right there.
If you're going to
Like, the
drive
store is
traffic,
there.
drive it to Amazon. That's what you're saying.
Right now, maybe you want to. Maybe you want to sell some stuff on Etsy, and then send those customers, because with Etsy, I mean, you ever order from Etsy and you get this great little like box with like it's wrapped in tissue paper and ribbons. I mean, you can market to your customers through Etsy, right? So you can let them know, hey guys, I'm really glad that you bought something from me on Etsy. Did you know that I have an entire shirt store on Amazon?
Sure.
And because I like you guys so much as my Etsy customers, if you give me an idea for a shirt, I will make it for you. All right? You guys listening? This is real stuff. You give me an idea for a shirt, I will make it for you, and I will send you one for free. Right? Boom. Free designs. Free designs from a customer who's already telling you, hey, there's at least demand for one of these because I want one. And guess what? If someone wants one, someone else is going to want one. And it doesn't cost you anything. They're going to give you the design, and you make the shirt and give it to them for free as a way to say thank you. It's going to cost you like $10 in cost. That's it. And now you have a design that you can sell over and over and over and over again. Like this is not hard, right? Like, we just stumbled onto all this stuff right here. You know what you could do? You could contact this Etsy seller and be like, hey, Etsy seller, I really like your designs. Maybe we can work together on something, right? How far do we get? We got down to one shirt on this list, right? How far down do we want to go, right? Now this is what Elaine Bennett's from Seinfeld. I wouldn't mess with that. That's whoever that's from that Adam show. Like, there you go, right? You can make that. You can make all this stuff. Kiwis, right? No one trademarked putting 2 kiwis on a shirt, right? And there's plenty of people out there who love kiwis. Cat people are definitely crazy. You can make all kinds of shirts about cats. You can search Amazon for all the cat shirts and see what's popular.
So I had a few mentors coming up in the game of internet marketing. One of them was Frank Kern. If you know who Frank is, I'm sure you do, Chris. But
oh yeah, I get his emails.
Yeah, oh yeah. Frank's one of the OGs. He's now kind of moved on from internet marketing. He's Tony Robbins' right hand man for all of his marketing needs online. But one of the things he told me was always try to pursue, think about your audience, always try to pursue an irrationally passionate audience. What made me think of that is the cat shirt, right?
Oh, cat people are crazy.
Crazy cat lady. I mean, come on. That's an irrationally passionate audience. Another completely irrationally passionate audience, and this was Frank's example.
Look at this. What's the number one? Sure. Crazy cat.
Lady shirt. There you go.
After you go through here, lady shirt.
You know what another one is, Chris? Golfer.
Shirt.
Golfers go crazy for merch. So if you guys are out there, those are 2 tips that you can use right now. So look for an irrationally passionate audience.
Today I posted an idea, basically free ideas, is acronyms, right? Acronyms are not trademarked, right? You can make a golf shirt and you can make it say guys only, ladies forbidden, or whatever other golf acronyms have been made up over the years, right. And you can try to make yours look really good.
Yeah.
And you can sell it to golf people, and you can try to make it funny. And I don't even care if you make it sexist, right? If that's the kind of shirt you want to make, go for it. There are people who want to buy it.
Sure. So right? Let me ask you a question.
You can put bad stuff on merch shirts. You can drop the F-bomb on merch shirts. It doesn't matter.
Right. Okay. There you go. That you just answered it. Can you use crude language? And the answer is fuck yeah. Okay.
Very crude. As crude as you want to get. So this goes all the way down. I mean, look at this. Look at top 4,000. Laser eyes.
I love that laser eye.
Cat.
I want that. Chris, buy that for me right now, would you?
It's great. It's incredible. But you can see, okay, what is it about this shirt that's making it happen? You can make your own, right? You can have your own background in space, your own rainbow fart coming out of here. You're a different kitten. Put Saturn or Jupiter. Like, it doesn't matter, guys. Like, you see what works and make it your own, right?
Right.
You're not. I'm not saying copy this pixel for pixel, but say, hey, okay, lasers and cats. Okay, I get how that's like a meme or a thing,
I get a
and
lot
go
of
for
people
it.
asking what that link is again. I'm just, or what the extension is that you're using there, guys. I'm going to send it to everybody. It's DS Amazon Quick View. So there you go.
Yeah, and guys, this app here is called Switcher. I use it a lot to turn a lot of these on and off because not all these extensions work well together. Like when I'm shopping, I don't want this popping up because it does make the page jump around. And when I want to click on something, then it loads and it's not working. So I just turn it off. Right? I can go in here and with one click, I can turn it off. Right? So that's another free app, a free extension you guys can get.
Very cool.
If
Switcher.
you have a bunch listed.
Very neat. It's news to me. I'm going to use it. I'm getting it right now. Switcher Chrome app. Okay, cool. So, guys, do you have any questions related to?
We're at an hour and a half. How long did you want to go?
Dude, I really, I don't care. Hey, are you guys still there? We've lost a total of 4 people from this webinar. So,
I want to keep giving value, but I do have my kids. They're going to bed.
I hear you.
Wow, so we are still over 300. Usually, a lot of people drop off just because they have other things going on.
So here's the deal. Why don't we give you? I mean, do you have another 10 minutes?
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's do 10 minutes. So I want to push
I
it
can
forward.
keep going down these rabbit trails, but guys, you have to do this yourself. These are the 2 main sites I use. So write them down: Yahoo and BuzzFeed, right? And you can search BuzzFeed either for shirts specifically or search for lists. A lot of times they will make lists of things that they think are funny, and then take those things, whatever you find on those lists, and see if it's something that can be translated to a shirt. And if it can, then you go to Amazon and see if anything is there, right? See if you saw what I did as I typed it in. I wanted to see if Amazon filled in the search, meaning that other people are searching for it. Amazon's trying to make it easy, saying, "Oh, I know what you're looking for. You're looking for girl power.
Chris,
I know. I'm gonna help you out."
let's take it up a notch. Okay, you guys.
Uh-oh.
That's my crazy strip club DJ voice. So listen, we're to my mind, we're going to push it forward to the next step if you're cool with that, right? By the way, let me ask you, kind of on that last thing you said there, how easy would it be to hire a VA to find cool ideas on BuzzFeed and Yahoo and Reddit and then turn them into shirts? Probably
It'd
pretty
be
easy.
tougher than I mean, it would be easy, but I do think it's a little bit like the online arbitrage where people try to hire VAs to like source and like make lists and go through sites. You either kind of get this or you don't, and it can take a little bit of time to really understand what you're looking for, and to describe what we're just doing right now
Okay.
can be difficult to put into a work process that someone with maybe a little language barrier is really going to understand what you want. They'll make you a list of everything in here and like links to every Amazon search result for a pineapple shirt. But am I interested in making pineapple shirt searches? No, because to me it's too generic,
Right.
right? Like how many people are looking for a shirt with a pineapple on it versus girl power?
Right.
Now explain the difference, right? Versus, well, why girl power? Well, because there's girl power, there's feminist movement, there's all this stuff that's related to girl power, which is going to turn into more searches and more potential for products versus a freaking pineapple.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. Thanks for that. So, okay, cool. I agree with you. And that kind of answers a few questions here in the group. John said,
Now, some people may have more luck. I'm just saying, from my personal experience, I would find it difficult to train someone to have kind of the eye that I'm looking for.
right.
But don't take that for saying it can't be done.
I think,
Right? If
no,
you guys can do it, great. Rock it.
I think it can be done. Personally, I think it can be done, guys. So, you've got 2 different opinions there. So go with your own. Here's kind of step 5, and this is where I think we'll leave you, Chris. And I know that you could talk about this for hours. I could talk about this for hours, literally days. So why don't you, to keep it short and sweet here so you can get to your kids and I can get to my kids, why don't you give me the top 3 ways you are either driving traffic to your listings on Amazon now, or the top 3 ways that you've seen others driving traffic to your listings? How do you get these things to sell?
Well, the number one way that I think people are going to have luck driving traffic is with Facebook ads, just because that's where the audience is.
Hmm.
And there's been some threads in our Merch Life Facebook group where people are like, I'm running ads and I'm not selling anything. So therefore, Facebook ads don't work. I'm like, well, that's correlation and causation that you're kind of messing up there, okay? Because there are 2 things that are going to happen if you're running ads to a product and it's not converting, okay? Either your product doesn't convert because it's not very good, right? Maybe your shirt design sucks, or maybe it's just not very good. Maybe nobody wants it. Maybe you thought people really wanted a shirt that had a pineapple on it, and you found out by the time they got there, they didn't want it, right? Sorry, like the market decides. Or you're sending the wrong traffic, right? Because if you send people who are interested in apples to your pineapple shirt, they don't buy, it's not because the Facebook ads don't work. They did work. They sent the traffic, but your product didn't convert, right? So there are kind of two aspects to all this. You got to send the traffic, and then your product has to convert, right? So make sure you have a good product. That's where I encourage people to like get feedback from other people. Be willing to show your designs to trusted people. And be, what do you think? Does this work? Does it pop on this color? Should I do this? But one of the best ways that I've found to kind of get examples of what is successful is to go to Teespring. And Teespring is going to show you popular designs, right? They're going to show you trending. They're going to show you all this one here. I think they'll still show it. I think it's sold over 9,000. Yeah, almost 9,500 of these have sold. All right, now here's the real trick. Here's the real secret. By visiting this site, there's now going to be a tracking pixel on my computer that's going to put the Facebook ads for this product in my news feed. All right, you guys following that? Just by visiting this. Now, sometimes it happens right away. Sometimes it doesn't happen right away. But now Teespring is going to pay to retarget that listing to me. I'm going to start seeing it over here in my sidebar and in my news feed here and on mobile. Right? It's going to follow me around. Why is that important? Because now I know exactly what the Facebook ad that is driving traffic here looks like. And I'm like, that's a great looking ad. I love how they put that over there. And here's the thing. It's 9 days left, available until April 21st, right? Like, whatever. They have been retargeting me with this one for over a month. And every time it says final days or time running out, I mean, that's what they put on the Facebook ad. It had a sense of urgency to it. Some people got to come here and they got to buy it. They got to buy it. I got to get this. It's not real, right? It's a little fake. So some people might not be comfortable doing it fake that way, but it works. It converts. You can find successful campaigns by going straight to Teespring, and then they're going to show up right in your Facebook newsfeed. It's so clear. It's so right in front of you. They'll do it on Yahoo as well. Let's see if it refreshes with a Teespring ad now. Yeah, we'll go with that.
Yep, absolutely.
A Teespring ad. That's how quick it works. All right, so here's a missing you one. You can see the ad that they're using. Now, they're not advertising on Yahoo. This is like an ad share, platform where they're using the tracking pixels and all that stuff. So this stuff isn't free, but it is pretty cheap, right? And now I don't have time to get into a whole Facebook ads breakdown. But guys, you can play with it. You can go into your ads manager. There are different ways you can do it to get ads to show up in your news feed or in the sidebar, or if you want to boost a post or promote a post from a page. There are a lot of different ways. I mean, maybe we can get to one really quick from one of my pages. All right, so if I wanted to boost this post and actually pay money to get it to go out to people, I can choose targeting here, right? So I can create a new audience. I can give it a name. I can pick the countries. I can pick the age. And I can pick what they're interested in, right? So if I want to pick people who I want to go after the Bill Clinton people and maybe get someone to buy my first dude shirt, I can put in Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton, Democrats, election 2016, whatever you want to put in, you can target them pretty well through here, and it's going to put the ads in front of them. And you're going to have to make, this is more of a process than just, run an ad for my shirt. You're going to have to make the creative, right? You're going to have to make the Facebook ad image that you're going to upload, which is why I would mimic ones that work, right? I would go to these pages and I would wait for them to show up, and then I would copy the design. Okay, put the shirt in that side. This is whatever text you're allowed to squeeze in. This is what's in the background. These are the colors. Copy what works. People get all bent out of shape about copy. Guys, copy what works, right? You like what Brian does with ClickFunnels and webinars? Copy it. He didn't patent and trademark it.
Please,
right?
copy me.
It's value to people.
In fact, ask me how I do it. I'll send you my affiliate link.
So this really is the secret. I know we kind of got all the way till close to the end to talk about the secret, but it's the people that are making $50,000 a month. They do have a large catalog of shirts. They've been doing this for a while. Maybe they make 10 shirts a day and upload every single day, and they commit to it. Maybe they know designers, or they've hired designers, or they're designers themselves. So they do make great looking shirts, but they're not selling, a million of one shirt. They're selling 20 of 40 different shirts every day, day after day after day. And you can build up to that library. We got to start somewhere. You got to start with the first shirt, right? And they are going to pay. This is one of the things I posted. This people are making 50 grand, and people are like, yeah, but how much are they spending on ads? And I just kind of rolled my eyes. I was like, whatever. And I said, you're right. They're probably losing money. They're probably spending 60,000 in ads to get $50,000 in royalties. You've figured it out. You must know these people. Like, it's such a discouraging attitude. But I get it. That's a lot. That's the attitude of a lot of people. It's unfortunate, but I don't have time to fight it.
Yeah, but you know
Uh,
what, Chris? And I want everyone listening here to hear this. I love people with that attitude. Well, no, not $50,000. Yeah, right. I love these clickbait titles, or get to the meat and potatoes. I don't have all day. I love people with those attitudes. Here's why. Because the more people that have that attitude, the easier it is for people like you and I and all the positive people that are on this webinar, and there's a shit ton, to get ahead. It just makes it easier for us. So keep having that attitude, because you're going to wind up at the bottom or stay at the bottom. So, I mean, that's kind of my 2 cents on it. And especially when you're more of a public facing persona like you are, like I am, Chris, you hear that more, I think, and it influences you. We're human too. It's hard not to hear that shit sometimes. So, I mean, you can't
oh, it
combat
can
it.
be
So you
annoying.
just
It's a battle.
it's annoying. That's a really good way to put it. It's annoying, but to me, I've come to like it, because the more times I hear negative attitudes or naysayers or haters, whatever the hell you want to call it, the more I kind of go, all right, nice. There's one more down. I just got to keep knocking them down. So,
Wait, Brian, I got a question for the 307 people that are here with us. If you guys will give me a 10-minute break to go say goodnight to my kids, I will come back and we'll keep this going.
yeah, we can do that, man. Why don't I actually have
Can
to do
you
the same?
can you keep
So
it going for 10 minutes?
why don't we do this, guys? Why don't we do this? Chris, I'm going to ask you live, dude. Would you be willing to do a follow up webinar? Because I think that we've kind of gone through now twice, first webinar, second webinar. I think we've kind of gone through what it takes. Okay, mindset, we got to that. Now, getting approved in merch, we got to that. Right now, finding a good designer. If you're not a designer, we got to that. Then we talked about shirt ideas. That's step 4. And I'm seeing this kind of laid out in my mind as 5 steps. The 5th step, and the one I think that we can really all dig our teeth into, and it could take 2, 3, 5 hours. We've already been on for 2 hours now, for free, by the way. Is driving traffic and how you can do that. We talked a little bit about Facebook ads, but we didn't show you how to make a Facebook ad, right? We didn't even get into, building groups and fan pages and driving traffic to that, and multi-tiered funneling and dynamic retargeting. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, then you guys need to learn this stuff.
Dude, we got affiliates, we got relationships. You can find win-win. You can contact YouTube channel owners
Oh yeah, outreach,
and
key influencers.
partner.
Sure.
There are so many, and that's the easiest one. Like, don't try to go get contact with Taylor Swift and be like, Taylor, I want to be your shirt guy. That ain't gonna happen.
Right.
But you can find someone with 400,000 followers on YouTube, and you put their logo on a shirt and send it to them. They're gonna be like, my man, what?
100%, 100%, dude, 100%. So why don't we do this? How many
They're all there.
guys? How many of you guys? And Chris, dude, by the way, you're awesome for saying let's jump back on in 10 minutes. I wish I could. Um, how many of you guys would be down to get Chris back on a webinar and talk about driving traffic and nothing else? We won't go through mindset. We won't go through building relationship with a designer or getting approved or
Yeah, we're
finding
not
an
gonna hype it up anymore. You guys should know it all by now.
yeah, right. We're done with that. So if you didn't get in, we don't want to bring too many people in. So how many of you guys would be down? I'm seeing a heck yeah, I'm in all you. I mean, like literally 2 to 300 people in here. Can I get a keyboard head smash? Maybe I'll do it for a really good keyboard head smash. Love it. Okay, cool. Let's do that, Chris. Are you down?
Man, I'm down. I told you I was gonna do fewer of these webinars, man. So you might be one of the last ones that I'm gonna do before I kind of go into hiding and
Hibernation.
put my head down and crank this stuff out, because guys, the opportunity is there for me just like it's there for all you guys.
I know. We're not making money on these. I mean, obviously, we're not here to pitch you guys. So we're not making money. We're not doing anything. We love it. We love you guys. So let's do this. Let's get you on another webinar. We're not going to hype the shit out of it. I'm going to do the same thing I did. I'll probably send one email out to my list, and I will probably make 1 or 2 posts in the group, and that's it. So if you miss it, you miss it. So you got to keep your ear to the ground. All right. And we'll do something like that. All right, cool. So one thing parting before we go, Chris, how do they get a hold of you? For everyone that's new to you, what's the best way to stay in the loop with everything that you're doing? And I know it's plethoric. So why don't you tell us a cool way that people can find you and get in touch?
Well, I got a lot of Facebook groups. My two big groups are Scan Power and Merch Life. You just search for those on Facebook. You're going to find them. We talked a little bit at the beginning. How do you message me? It's m.me/Chris, or you can just find me on Facebook and send me a message there. Of course, chrisgreen.com is my website. Chris@chrisgreen is going to be my email. There's a lot of ways to get a hold of me. But if you need something, ask your question. I'm going to give you an answer, and you got to go execute against it, because talking to me is not going to make you money.
Absolutely.
Executing is going to make you money.
Yeah. And I mean, yeah, the 2 hours we were on this webinar, we love it. We love you guys for being on. But those are 2 hours that we could have been investing into our own businesses. So I hope you guys got a ton of value out of this. This is what really floats my boat, is helping you guys and seeing success stories kind of, spurred out of our webinars and these awesome guests like Chris. And if you guys are new to me, I'm going to put it into the question or chat box now. It is eComazon. That is the group I run. I'd love to have you in. Just go to Facebook, and it is /groups/ECOMAZON. It's e-commerce and Amazon focused. You should see a big picture of a mountain and my name there, Brian Burt. Love to have you in. Chris, dude, you're the best. I'm going to give you a big bromance hug here if I could.
Well, man, fist bump.
Awesome. Okay, guys, thank you so much for being on. Keep an eye out for that. Love you all. Big kiss. Take care. Thanks, Chris.
All right. See you guys.
Okay, guys. Bye-bye.